Hey gang, we are on a one-day trip here to New York. We're actually in Lawrence, New York. Just got here about an hour and a half ago. Shot down to the cemetery. The cemetery is called St. Mary's Star of the Sea Cemetery. I want to thank Corey Granith for suggesting this story. Corey knows I have been waiting to come out here. This is like the one story I really wanted to do. It's been on my mind. So I literally just flew out to New York this morning. I'm going to shoot this and I'm heading right back to LaGuardia, back home to Chicago. But when I'm on a obsession, on a mission, I gotta do it. And there go the train bells. You know how the trains love Faces of the Forgotten. Anyway, this is a story of let's go back to World War II, 1945, the end of World War II. A very romantic story, but a tragic story, like a story I have never heard, of a bride, Italian bride. So let's take a walk right on cue as the train rolls by. All right. We wouldn't have an episode if we did not have a Faces of the Forgotten train visit, right? So let's take a look here at this cemetery. I believe this is a Catholic cemetery. So listen to this. When Corey sent me this story, it was in Life magazine, 1946. So I got on eBay. I think Corey said, hey, go on eBay, there's one left, or there's one for sale. And you know, after reading the story, I ordered it and I bought it, buy it now, and I have it. So the pictures you're gonna see are from the actual story. And it was 15 cents in 1946. And I'm gonna read you from the Life magazine, the actual story, and then I'll add in a few details. But yeah, World War II. Let's go back in time to what I consider a romantic time. I mean, the war was terrible, but I don't know, something about the end of World War II in Europe. So the article begins, a bride dies at her wedding. The title says, a Long Island girl who waited all through the war to marry her high school sweetheart falls dead at the church floor. Yes, that's right. Her name was Rose de Fabrizio, and she met John Mastantuono when they were high school students in Inwood, Long Island. And soon they were sweethearts. But the war came and interrupted that before they could get married. John went into the army for 2.5 years. And it is said in the article 8 months ago he was released and they decided to get married. Rose had waited for him. She left her job immediately. And they made their final preparations. Now, John had found a good job. He had even found a house, and with the help of his father, he bought it. Then they set the date, October 6th, and they rushed into the flurry of last-minute plans. Rose bought a wedding dress. John bought a ring. And everything was going very smoothly. They planned to go to Atlantic City for their honeymoon, and John had borrowed a car. And of course, they hired a photographer to take all the pictures at the wedding. Now, on the morning of the wedding, even though John knew it was supposed to bring bad luck, he saw his bride briefly, and he couldn't help to see her. And when she left him, she said, John, I love you with all my heart. 4 hours later, Rose de Fabrizio and her wedding party drove up to the steps of the church. Inside, the organ was playing "Here Comes the Bride." People were crying happily, and the photographer was busy taking his pictures. Rose was very, very excited. Rose was too excited, it said, and she stepped on her wedding gown. She whispered to her father, "Wait," and her father said, "I'll fix it." He reached down, and that is when Rose toppled onto the church steps. Somebody screamed. Her father thought she had fainted and asked for help. One of the guests was a Dr. Alexander Vivona. He immediately rushed to her side, tried to render assistance. There was 12 men from the fire department rescue squad who arrived shortly thereafter, but no one, unfortunately, could revive her. Everything was all in vain. She had died immediately upon collapse. Now, Dr. Vivona claimed that Rose had a rheumatic heart, and it was the deputy medical examiner of Nassau County here that Dr. Alan Jacques said, "I found a general congestion, the upper respiratory passages." Well, the delirious excitement of the long-planned moment had been too much for Rose's heart. The funeral and burial would be 4 days later. It was on October 10th, 1946, when Rose was buried here at St. Mary's Star of the Sea Cemetery. And that was following her funeral at St. Joachim's Church. Hundreds of people attended the funeral that rainy day. It was a rainy day. A motorcade of 35 cars came, and it is said that Rose's father could not bear to return to that church after that horrific memory of his daughter dying in his arms. We are at the grave. This is the monument. It's a beautiful monument for Rose and for her mother and father, Luigi, Antoinette. Just pausing here to take it in. Let's get a close-up. Beloved daughter, Angela Rose, 1925 to 1946, and below, husband, father, Luigi, 1901 to 1976. I think he was in his early 40s when this happened. Beloved mother, Antoinette, 1905 to 1998, it looks like, I believe. And some nice flowers here. I barely have enough time to shoot this. I could not get flowers, and maybe if you all, I've got a few Instagrammers that said where are you gonna be? I'm on Long Island. Come on over and drop some flowers here for the family, if you could. If anything on our behalf from our group, it would be really awesome to do that. This is a beautiful cemetery. Beautiful cemetery. Well, Rose was buried in her wedding gown and veil, along with a bouquet of flowers. That same bouquet, as she walked up to the church, her fiancé, Johnny, he ordered a heart of orchids and 300 red roses. They were both placed upon her white casket. Johnny had been through so much, and this is what's unbelievable. It was literally the year before, a little over a year before, Johnny lost his mother, Maria. And Maria, when she died, I'm not sure how she died, but literally days later, his sister died, Antoinette. And then shortly thereafter, his father died. And of course, the domino effect has to be of heartbreak, a broken heart, and then the health goes down. But imagine what this guy what this poor guy went through. They say that Johnny Mastantuono lived on. I think he died in his 50s. I did look around here in the cemetery to try to find where his parents and sister are buried. It is said that they are buried nearby the Di Fabrizio family, and I was not able to find them. I did call the cemetery before I came, and I understand that all the records burned. The only reason I was able to find Angela Rose here and family is this distinctive monument. If you find their grave, I will post a picture on YouTube and Instagram. So if anyone watching comes out, please drop some flowers, take a picture. Sadly, Rose was only 21 years old when she passed. Well, Di Fabrizio family, rest in peace.